this is what's interesting. So many people are aware relationships break down, and yet prenuptial agreements, postnuptial agreements, really any type of marriage contract between couples are rare. So, Eva, what do you tell people who feel like contracts like these aren't necessary, that they're a romance killer?
Well, they're not. I think a recent study told us that 60% of the lawyers polled indicated that there was an increase in the requests for separation for prenups. And out of that group, over 50% were from millennials. So when we know millennials are concerned about this, they're getting together at later stages of life. So they've acquired some wealth and some assets. They've seen what happened with family and friends going through divorce. So they're looking for ways and recognizing that they do want to protect their wealth going forward.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point, isn't it? Because relationships have changed over 20 years. And like you said, a lot of people are gathering assets. They're more complicated. Some people are getting married later, or in fact, not getting married at all and living together. So, Anna Marie, when does it actually make sense for someone to have this type of contract?
Well, the timing of these agreements is something that often is an issue that we have to deal with. And so one of the first things that might happen is we'll get calls from people saying, oh, we're moving in next week. We'd love to get a prenup agreement or a cohabit agreement signed and ready to roll. And having that sort of time pressure in place is a real problem, because there needs to be conversations that are had as to how this agreement is going to actually play out and what kind of terms we're going to put in the agreement. So in terms of timing, the more time people have before the event, so it could be the wedding or the moving into the house together, the better off the couple is. And, we kind of joke about this a little bit in our world, where we talk about, the right time to have these conversations about these agreements is really at the time you're buying the engagement ring, because these are really important conversations. And I say that a bit tongue in cheek, but the reality of the situation is millennials and professionals nowadays, and a lot of couples, they're really sophisticated. And they're having these conversations about money early on. And so that's something that we really encourage people to do. And really timing-wise, it's the best for everyone.
Yeah, so is there a situation where a contract like that may not be valid then?
Absolutely. So if you're dealing with a situation where we're getting married next week, or we're closing on a home next week, here, sign this agreement, and the couple sign off on it. And later down the road, things aren't quite what they thought they would be, and the couple is now looking to break up. The very first thing they do is they go to this agreement and they look at it and they say, geez, with that impending date or the pressure of he wouldn't marry me unless I signed the agreement, well, the whole thing gets thrown out. And so those are the situations that we really want to avoid. And we really want to have the conversations, like I said, early on, and the conversation sort of as you're planning your wedding, you can also plan your financial future together.
Eva, we only have about 45 seconds before the break, but you and your team have created a modern marriage contract. Tell us about that. What does that entail?
A modern marriage contract is really, we've designed it for looking at the money that a couple has contributed to the purchase of a home, how to protect that going forward in case an event like divorce happens. So we're really gearing it for that specific piece. We include a financial professional, net worth statements, 2 lawyers all working together, creating a comprehensive contract that can stand up going forward in the future. We all do it for a flat fee because we're working together. And so we really consider it and we present it to people like an insurance policy for the investment they're making in probably one of the biggest purchases of their lives.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.